What's up, you guys? Ross Sapp, Fightful.com, here with a name you know. She's a former SmackDown Women's Champion. She's the current WWE Women's Tag Team Champion. She's competing in another Money in the Bank ladder match on July 18th. You all can watch it on Peacock. We got Natalya. Natalya, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
I appreciate you coming on. I mean, there's always so much that you've got going on, and this Sunday is no different. A ladder match. You're no stranger to that. How do you prepare for a Money in the Bank ladder match at this point?
Well, this is my fifth Money in the Bank ladder match. And, I still feel really, really nervous to be a part of it. When I got announced on Monday and Sonya Deville tweeted out, basically that I was going to be a part of the match, I was just as surprised as anybody else. But for me, like, the nerves never go away, especially in a high risk, high stakes type of match like this. And of course, you never get used to lifting ladders. In the last four that I was in, the ladders are awkward. They're heavy, they're awkward, and they hurt. There's no way to get around it. But there's a lot at stake. And of course, what's really cool about being a part of this match is that I never thought that I would be a part of it, because I've already got a championship. I've got the women's tag team championship right now with Tamina Snuka. But then when I got announced for the match, just sort of unexpectedly, I realized that in chaos comes opportunity. When, people get traded or somebody gets hurt or something happens, or, we're faced with a worldwide pandemic. In WWE, we are masters at adapting to change. And so for me, I think it's been one of the coolest parts of my career is that I've always been able to adapt really fast. And I think it's why I keep saying in chaos comes opportunity. With these chaotic times, I've been able to kind of snag some really cool opportunities and moments. And why can't I have it all? Just because I have gold right now doesn't mean that I can't be a Raw Women's Champion or a SmackDown Women's Champion. Why can't I do it all? So that's kind of what I'm excited about proving in this match, and hopefully not breaking any bones or having any mishaps with ladders. So fingers crossed.
Speaking of adapting, we've seen the former Tyson kid, TJ Wilson, adapting pretty well to life after being in the ring. He's getting his flowers all the time. Constantly when I speak to women on the roster, they put over the way that he helps put things together, the way he pushes for them. You're married to him. Do you all ever have these conversations about matches, and like he has an idea and you have an idea, and maybe they aren't the same idea? How does that work when you're working with someone you're so close with?
Well, we talk about wrestling all the time. It's funny that you bring that up. We were talking about ladder matches this morning, and I've been watching ladder matches like the last 2 days. Just literally trying to wrap my head around, okay, I'm in a ladder match. But he's got so many great ideas, but what I love about TJ is that he's so fair. He sees something great in everyone. He sees so much potential in our women's division, and he's excited when we get new talent like Tegan and Nox and Shotzi.
It's an adjustment. I know. I did it too.
I still call her Tegan, but even with Piper, with Eva, with all these different women that are coming into the division. We saw last week Toni Storm is coming, so he's excited about the influx of new talent. But he just has a vision for every single woman, and he's been lucky enough to produce 2 main event matches for the women. He just sees something great in everyone, but he's also a student of the game. And I think that's why he does so well. And he really I feel like he competed in the WWE women's division in a past life, because he just has such an art for helping everybody rise to the occasion and keeping everyone safe, making everyone feel comfortable. But he studies wrestling so much. He can tell Bret Hart any match that Bret Hart's had in his career, and matches that Bret's maybe even forgotten about. I remember there was a match that Bret and Kidman had, and TJ was like, yeah, you had a match with Kidman. And anyway, he can just remember everything, like about people's careers, what arena the show was in, what pay-per-view it was. He's just amazing. And so his love and his passion for the business just is unwavered, and the women are all tapping into it, which we're very lucky to have him.
And I love seeing you all posting your training videos as well, because, I mean, your family has a pretty storied history with making stars, and I love seeing that. And I'm sure you get a lot of people asking for advice. What's one thing that you see maybe some of the younger independent females that they need to work on to become a signable talent? Because you're pretty aware of what that is at this point because you've been around WWE for a significant portion of your life.
I mean, that's a great question. I've been asked a lot of questions, but I haven't been asked that. As far as like, if I was to give somebody advice on like what you need, what it takes, what to do, how to get to WWE, I go back to myself in the sense that I was rejected for many years. I couldn't get a WWE contract. I couldn't get a contract for 5+ years. But I never let that stop me. It's like the brick walls are there for a reason, and they're there to keep people that don't belong in this business out. And if you want this badly enough, you will do whatever it takes. And actually, one of the greatest coaches I've ever had was Dr. Tom Pritchard. And he would always say that. He's like, whatever it takes. Talent can't be stopped, whatever it takes. And so I think loving the industry, being a student of the game, I think it's really important. I'm not saying it's a prerequisite, but I think it's really important to be a fan. When I meet people and they want to get into WWE, but they've never watched the product, I question that. And again, maybe I'm just a little skeptical, maybe I'm a little cynical, but I really think in order to do this and be really great at it, you have to have some love for it. You have to have some reference for it. You have to be inspired by the people that came before us, whether it was Eddie Guerrero or Bret Hart or Shawn Michaels or Triple H or Rey Mysterio, Edge, Kurt Angle, Christian. The list goes on and on of people that have inspired me, but like, Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton is one of the greatest WWE superstars of all time. I look at his body of work and I'm like, I want to be like that. And I think that's just, like I said, so important to be a fan. So work hard, be a student of the game, find a great wrestling school. We are lucky enough, TJ and I are lucky enough to have our very own ring. So we do train a lot. And I love that. And I love working with people that have passion, that come and train with us, that have passion, like Liv Morgan.
Yeah, I constantly hear great things about her, too. Around the time the pandemic started, I wanted to get some positive news out there, so I would kind of privately poll WWE wrestlers, and I would say, who's working really hard to get better? And it was like half of them were like Liv. Liv is working really hard to get better.
Liv puts in the work. I mean, and that's the thing is that it's, I've opened up my ring to, all the WWE superstars can come to our ring to train with me and myself and TJ. And more so with TJ as a coach. TJ has just got like 20+ years of wrestling experience. So he works so closely on the inner workings of WWE, working Raw, SmackDown, and all the pay-per-views that he really has such a sharp eye for it. So I'm always inspired and really like just in awe of the people that come and want to tap into his brain. And we've also seen Dawkins come of Street Profits. Okay. He's come quite a bit. And I can't believe, this is totally off topic, but I can't believe how talented that guy is. I mean, he's going to blow everybody's mind when you can actually see the athleticism that he has. He's just breathtaking to watch train.
So as we start to wrap up, Money in the Bank, July 18th, I know you're in a great tag team with Tamina right now. She's your partner right now. But Beth Phoenix has said that she's not done lacing up the boots. Is winning the tag team championships with her something that still sticks in your mind? Because I think a lot of people, when those titles were created, they're like, oh, it's going to happen with those two because of the history. And really, you all made a pretty good case for those titles being around a lot longer before than they were.
Well, Beth Phoenix isn't going to have an opportunity to be my tag team partner without going through me first. So if Beth Phoenix wants to find a partner, Tamina and I are ready, willing, and waiting. And, I absolutely love teaming with Beth. She's one of my best friends, one of my favorite humans, one of the best people on the planet. But I've never been involved in a tag team match against Beth Phoenix for the women's tag team championship. So if Beth wants to lace up the boots and take on myself and Tamina Snuka, and she wants to find a partner, she can do that first, because I'll be happy to welcome any competition, especially the best in the world, like Beth Phoenix.
Last question. Again, we mentioned TJ doing the producing. Is that something you're interested in? Or, like Beth, doing some commentating whenever your career winds down?
It's funny. I get asked that a lot, and I know I probably end up eating my words one day. For me, I just feel like TJ's our personalities are very different. TJ loves being behind the camera. He's really actually kind of shy, TJ. He's outspoken but shy at the same time. He's just very low key, and it doesn't take a lot to kind of please him, but he loves helping others, and so do I. But my personality, I just love being in front of the camera. I love entertaining. I love speaking. I love studying the business. I think it would be really, really cool to do more stuff on air with WWE, like what Booker T does and like what Beth Phoenix does. And of course, I'd love to be, the star of my own reality show and actually produce my own reality show. So one day that is something that's on my bucket list to do. Because of course I've got a lot of experience with reality TV, but I just love being in front of the camera. And our family, the Hart family, we're just such a crazy family that there's too much good stuff to not share.
I've interviewed like 6 of you at this point, and it's always interesting. Natalya, good luck at Money in the Bank, July 18th on Peacock. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Oh, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Until next time, guys, we're out.